Hey everyone, Dr. Eric here from MedBetterHealth, where we talk all things dementia. And if you really want to learn a lot about dementia, I highly recommend that you visit thedementiatimes.com, an incredible resource from MedBetterHealth. Are you ready? Let's go. Today we're going to talk about something very important. Now I know you are the caregiver. You're taking care of a person living with dementia. You work, you have your life, you have your family. Mom lives alone, dad lives alone. Maybe they have a home health aide there. And the question you always ask yourself, is my home safe for my mom, for my dad, for that person living with dementia? And I'm going to go through incredible points for you to know that will literally change your life. Now, you could use this video to train home health aides as well, right? Now, obviously, this is not medical advice. This is not a certification. This is educational only, but this could be used to train caregivers, home health aides, anyone who's taking care of a person living with dementia. Are you ready? Let's go. So, number one. Environmental design is the first line of defense against catastrophic outcomes. Let's look at a number. One number comes to mind. 60% of people living with dementia will wander at some point. And I'll give you another number. 50% of those people actually, unfortunately, have a high mortality, meaning they pass away. When they wander, they get lost. There's also a huge percentage of falls in persons living with dementia. And these falls are catastrophic. And wandering is a statistical probability. So, let's talk about what can we do? What can you, the caregiver, do? Well, before we talk about those specifics, we have to understand that dementia has three specific stages. Three stages. Number one is the early, also known as mild dementia. Number two is moderate, known as middle stage. And then you have severe dementia, which is late stage. Your approach, and this is very important, your approach as a caregiver will be different in every aspect in these three stages. You're not going to act the same in the mild as the moderate or the severe. So let's take a look at the high-level overview first before we go granular. Number one, early stage. That's called the light touch. What do I mean by that? Well, your goal there is to preserve independence. Well, how do I do that? I'm going to take a look at these baseline hazard removals like rugs, cords. I'm going to make sure the meds are organized. I'm going to keep emergency numbers on site for everyone to see. And I'm not going to overlock the home. I'm not going to take things away. I'm not going to make things too complicated because I still want to preserve the independence in early dementia. Okay? Now we have mid or moderate stage. The goal is to prevent wandering and lock down hazards. How? Action. Driving stops. Wandering prevention becomes mandatory. Medications, chemicals, firearms, all these things now I need to think about. So I need to think about driving. I need to think about my loved one wandering. I need to make sure that they don't think medications are candies. I need to make sure that the Drano that's underneath the kitchen cabinet is not thought of as orange juice. And I need to make sure if I do have a firearms, because my wife or my husband, Charlie, used to have firearms and use it actively, and now it's open. I need to be careful with that, right? Because Charlie can hurt himself. And then obviously the late or severe stage, the goal is to prevent injury and to make sure there's calm. The actionable item for you is to focus on hazard hunting to transfer safety, water temperature, control, and maintaining low stimulation environments. So let's go a little bit deeper into all of these. So, number one, step 1 and step 8. Step 1 and 8, map every exit vector before stepping inside. And this, guys, is more towards the moderate and the severe dementia. You see the M here, right, in the late stage? What I'm telling you now is not so much for the early, but more for the moderate and severe and or late stage. So I'm going to go and I'm going to map every exit. Oh, I got the front door. Okay, front door. I've got the garage door. I've got the back door. I got other exits. I'm going to make sure I know where those exits are, because my loved one, Charlie, he's going to try to, if he has moderate to severe dementia, he may wander out from those exits. So I'm going to make sure that the walkways have lighting and everything is well lit. Number 2, hidden keys. I'm going to remove any hidden spare keys near entrances to prevent the caregiver from being locked out. I'm also going to make sure that the wandering exposure is high, so I'm going to have alarms or chimes or monitors are mapped at every single door. Confirm the person wears an ID bracelet, GPS, and keep a current photo for police. So what am I doing? I'm making sure that if my loved one, Charlie, walks out that door, he has a watch on that's GPS tracked, that has something called geofencing, that as soon as he walks out that door, and let's say he walks 7, 8, 9 steps, ding, 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 I get an alert on my phone. Wow, that's a great advice, right? Or I'm going to make sure that the door over here, anytime the door is open, there's things on Amazon that I can get an alert that the door has been opened. And the camera that I installed, I'm able to see that Charlie walked out, right? Automatically. These things are super, super important to have. Now, step 2, control the exit and manage environmental lighting. You guys see over here, you got the locks, right? Now, deadbolts. Place latches above or below typical eye level to remove them from the direct line of sight. Number 2, interior locks. Remove locks on the interior bathroom, because you don't want Charlie to lock himself in the bathroom or the garage and you're trying to get in and you can't, and you got to call the fire department to break in, right? So remove locks on the interior bathroom and bedroom doors to prevent the person from locking themselves in. Lighting. Ensure even lighting between the entry and the next room. Uneven lighting transitions cause severe disorientations in persons living with dementia. Now, phone. Post emergency numbers and the home address next to the nearest phone. So these are all very, very important, and that's step 2. Step 3, neutralize kitchen hazards without stripping unnecessary independence. This is so important. Let's take a deep dive into each of these. Number 1, stove. Install automatic shutoffs, add knob covers, or remove knobs entirely once unsupervised cooking is unsafe. Look at this fire over here. Look at these knobs over here. These guys, you go and you're working. Charlie wants to make himself a dish, turns on, forgets, goes, watches a movie, the fire starts, and the home burns down. So you want to make sure that you have automatic shutoffs, knob covers, or remove the knobs completely, because it could be very dangerous. Now, number 2, the sink. Disconnect the garbage disposal physically. Counters. Clear all fake food like decorative food, toxic plants, any loose medications that you have on the countertop, and cabinets. Secure sharp objects like knives, small appliances, and toxic cleaners that we talked about in locked areas. Keep cleaners in original packaging, never decorative containers that they'll think it's sugar, or they think it's tea, or something that they can put in their tea, but it's actually detergent. All right, so very, very important. If the person still cooks independently, treat this as a check-in, not as a lockdown. Remember, there's different stages of the disease: mild, moderate, or severe. You're not, if someone has mild dementia, you're not going to be locking down the kitchen so they can't cook, right? Because you want to preserve independence. But if it's moderate to severe, you want to start noticing, are the pans being burned? Are they forgetting to turn off the tea? Okay, these are the signs. Now I have to take action. Okay, now, step 4. Mitigate slips, regulate water temperature, and clear transfer space. Let's go into these one by one. So, in late stage, ensure there is adequate, unobstructed, clear floor space for a caregiver to safely assist with physical transfers to the toilet and shower. Meds. Move all medications to a locked external cabinet not an open medicine cabinet. Also, lock the water heater to 120 degrees maximum. Color code hot and cold taps. Temperature perception declines with dementia. So they can go in, turn on something very, very hot, and it's going to be very, very bad for them. So therefore, you want to make sure that the water temperature is at 120 and no more. Meds. Move all medications to a locked external cabinet, and we talked about that. That's very, very important. Okay, now, let's take a look at the actual bathroom now. Support. You see this? This is a mat. It's a rubber mat. If you actually have a bathtub and someone's taking a shower there, right? And look at that. There's a mat over here. What else do you see? You see a grab bar, right? So honey, hold on for me here. And now there's a plastic mat where the shower is, so they're not going to slip and fall. You've just prevented yourself a hospitalization. You've prevented a broken femur. That is huge. Support. Install grab bars at the toilet, shower, and tub. Use non-slip mats or textured stickers on wet floors. Right? And we talked about the water temperature. We've talked about labeling hot and cold. We have a mat over here. Or, for example, you have the toilet and someone is sitting down, but it's too low for them. So as they're trying to get up, they slip and fall. But what if you had a raised toilet, right? Where you're able to have these handles as well and bars that they're able to use to get up. That's a game changer. All these things are very, very important for you to look into. Step 5. Design the bedroom for safe resting and support rising. Let's take a look over here. Let's take a deep dive into this. So, rising support. Position a sturdy chair near the bed to assist with dressing and safely transitioning from sitting to standing. Let's take a look at how that looks. You see, this is the bed over here. You have a chair, and they could get off the bed if they need to. They can be transferred and placed on the chair for ease of dressing and standing. Okay, the path. Ensure the route from the bed to the bathroom is wide open and continuously lit at night. What I highly recommend you do if you're a caregiver, lighting is very important. Outside shadows cause confusion and very often misrepresentation or misinterpretation of what the person living with dementia sees. So if you take and you have these sensor lights on the floor that only turn on as they get up, and so there's these lights over here. So when Charlie puts his feet down and he starts taking this path over here, along the path there are lights that light up. It's easy now because every time Charlie gets up, it's not going to be dark, but it'll be automatically lit. So that's important. Closet access. Adjust all closet shelving to an easily accessible height to eliminate any temptation to climb. So imagine if the shoes are up there and Charlie has moderate dementia and he's trying to get his shoes and he trips and falls. Start leveling all these things at his specific level. And temperature. Supervise or completely remove electric blankets, heating pads, and space heaters that can cause fires. When Charlie thinks he's too cold, plugs it in, forgets about it. So take a look at all those things. Step 6, secure the transit zones to prevent falls and motions. So here's a couple of things. Floors. Remove all throw rugs or replace with firmly non-skid back rugs. Tack all loose cords directly to the baseboards. Number 2, stair visibility. Mark the edges of all stairs with brightly colored tape for depth perception. And it's a good idea now you could actually get these sensory lights that anytime Charlie will walk up, the actual stairs will light up. Number 3, handrails. Ensure handrails are completely secure on both sides of the stairs, extending past the top and the bottom steps. Right? So you want to install these. That's very important. Step 7, anchor the living areas and establish clear walking paths. Let's take a look at this. So number 1, anchoring. Secure all bookshelves. Imagine Charlie trying to get a book and he pulls it and the bookshelf falls on him. You want to make sure all bookshelves, all cabinets, all televisions are secured to the wall, preventing tipping if leaned on. Number 2, Edges, pad or replace or remove furniture with sharp corners. Anything that has a sharp corner where Charlie's going to fall, pad it. Pad it so if there is a fall, that it's actually rounded and it's padded and it's soft and it's not a corner that can hit his temple. Number 3, seating. Ensure the primary chairs have sturdy armrests to provide leverage for standing up easily for Charlie. And flow. Keep primary walking paths through the room deliberately wide and entirely free of any clutter. Now, the prioritization funnel transforms a long checklist into an execution plan. Let's take a look at that. You've got at the top of the funnel, life-threatening hazards. If you identify them, you want to fix them today. So as you're looking at this video, I want you to walk around your house, look at what we've talked about, and if there's something that you identify that's a hazard, you got those knives there, you've got the stove burners that are on, you want to make sure you fix it today. So secure the firearms, install the gas stove shutoffs, lock away toxic chemicals, secure the open staircases. This is something you can do today. This is an action I want you to do. Number 2, action, fix this week. Wandering and elopement exposure. Elopement means they left your home, you can't find them. 50% of folks who do that, they pass away. Action, fix this week. Installing exit alarms, hiding car keys, and leaving cues, securing ID bracelets. The GPS tracker that we talked about, you can look it up on Amazon. You could go to the Alzheimer's store, alzstore.com. I don't have any financial benefits from the store, but it has great value and benefit for you to look at these things. And then comfort and dignity. Action, you fix it over time. Examples, improving transition, lighting, color coding, padding for, these are things you fix over time. But you know what you have to fix today, and I want you to identify it that way. Step 9, document hazards concurrently to guarantee action. So for example, location, I want you to document it. I want you to say, okay, in the location, in the kitchen, what did I find? The stove has no shutoff. Action item, risk level, this is actually life-threatening. I can go shopping today and Charlie is going to do what? Charlie's going to keep the stove on. Home could catch on fire. What do I need to do? I need to install auto shut off or remove the nods. And then give yourself a date. I have to do this by, and give yourself a date of when you have to do this by, right? Log items while walking, not from memory afterwards, and assign a date and owner. So make a list. I want you to make a list of all the things that we talked about and have action items. Now, you're not going to be able to solve everything in one day. That's why I want you to focus on the most hazardous and life-threatening first, and then you'll go to the wandering and elopement exposure. Step 10, the needs of today will not match the needs of tomorrow. Remember, we talked about dementia. There's mild, moderate, or severe, right? Early, mid, and late. What you're looking at today, if your loved one has early dementia, is not going to be the same as moderate. And how do you reassess that? You reassess that through staging the dementia. Now, here in the GUIDE model, my organization called MedBetterHealth, we have been selected by Medicare to participate in an incredible new model called the GUIDE model. As part of this model, you, the caregiver, get a lot of resources, Some of the resources are actually having someone be in the home with Charlie, with your loved one, so you, the caregiver, can catch a break, and it's paid for by Medicare. You don't have to change your doctor. You don't have to change your insurance. Everything stays exactly the same. And part of what we do in the GUIDE model is we stage the dementia. So we have a conversation with you and Charlie, right? The caregiver and Charlie, and we say, all right, what type of dementia and what stage of the dementia? Is it mild, moderate, or severe? Because like I'm saying here, the needs of today will not match the needs of tomorrow. You're going to have to reassess. Now, if you're interested in learning more how you can qualify for this incredible program, I want you to look over here for the link, go to the link, fill out a quick form, and someone on my team will reach out to you and help you get onto this program. So, safety plans must evolve. As the disease progresses, like I said, from early to late, the environmental blueprint must be redrawn. Now, I'm so happy that you listened to this video, but listening is not enough. I want you to now take action. Take action by making a list of all the things that we've talked about. Do that walkthrough. Assign whether it's life-threatening, whether it's not life-threatening, whether it's comfort, and whether it's in the middle of elopement and wandering. And then take action. And look, I know this could be overwhelming. I know this is so much. And you're already doing so much as a caregiver. That's why I want to help you. I want to help you with this new Medicare program. If you found this content valuable, imagine a world where you have your own care navigator helping you one-on-one like this, on the phone, walking you through things exactly like this. You don't have to imagine anymore. I want you to look on your screen. Look, there's a link right over here, right? It's either here, 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 or there, right? I want you to take a look at the link, visit our site, apply. It's also in the description below. Apply and get the benefits of this program. And if you found this content valuable, I want you to do me a favor so more caregivers can learn about this. I want you to subscribe. I want you to also like. I want you to comment, because the YouTube, the LinkedIn, the Instagram, the TikTok algorithms all work with engagement. And the more engagement we get, the more people we can help. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Again, my name is Dr. Eric from MedBetterHealth.org, and I'll see you on the next video.